Hello, welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of CropLife and CropLife Iron, here again with Lara Sowinski. Laura, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Actually, yeah, we're both this is the pause in between trips for us as we're actually in our respective, I'm in studio and you're in your respective home office there in El Paso, Texas. Yeah, but we're gearing up for stuff again, and we'll be talking about that at the end of the video. So if you want to know where we're going to be in the next week, stay tuned. We will give you all the updates on that.
Yeah.
But hey, in the meantime, Laura, we did have some very, very big news break. Of course, our friends at CropLife America have been on a search for a new president CEO for a couple of months now. And I'm happy to report that on February 20th, they announced that they do have a new person in charge of their organization. That would be Alexandra Dunn. She goes by Alex, and she's going to be starting as their new CEO president. She was formerly with a international law firm called Baker Botts,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
there she
I can
used
see.
to handle pesticide issues, chemical regulation, water quality, and environmental justice, among other things.
Mhm.
So the chairman of the CropLife America board, Alex Dunn from Valent, had this to say. He said, as CLM members continue to innovate to address challenges faced by growers, health officials, and consumers, Alex's experience will provide guidance and leadership in both the policy and regulatory spaces. So, again, Alex is on board. So, welcome, Alex. Hope
Yeah.
you enjoy your time. We're looking forward, myself and Laura. We've had good relationships with the folks at CropLife America, and we're looking forward to meeting you in person here in hopefully the near future.
Yeah. No, that's great. Great news. I saw that as well. And welcome, Alex, too. Looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah, and I must admit, I don't know of Alex. I never ran into that law firm in the past. I don't know if your travels
I'm
took a
familiar
different
with them,
path.
actually. Yeah. No, they're great. Good firm.
They, okay, good.
Profile.
Okay, so you know the firm. All right, very
Mhm.
good. So we'll rely on you for, and who knows, maybe she'll be another woman in ag tech participant at least or observer. When we get around to that coming up in July. So
Absolutely. That'd be great. Can't wait
okay.
to tell her all about Wyatt.
And just wear the hat. The hat is always a good
Exactly.
selling point. So, hey, I know a couple of videos ago you were talking a little bit about some of the crop projections and the estimations coming up for the 2024 season. And I
Mhm.
actually ran across in the interim here a report from USDA's One Projections Committee for Agriculture. And
Mhm.
they were talking about, their estimation for what crop plantings are going to look like, not only in 24, but into 2025 as well.
Mhm.
And their assessment is that for the 8 major field crops, that the acreage is actually going to be going down over the next 2 years.
Mhm.
Currently stands at 252.6 million acres being planted, and they're expecting that to drop to 246.7 million acres by 2025. Basically, they're saying that the reduction is going to happen because of some declines in acreage for for corn and wheat.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
thought that was interesting. And one other thing, of course, we talk about a lot of people talk about return to normalcy.
Yeah.
Their projections are that, in particular, the crop prices are going to get back to kind of levels we used to see back in 2018, 2019, before COVID came around.
Mhm.
And for
Mhm.
an example, they're saying that corn prices will probably be about 450, between 430 and 450 per bushel over the next 2 years. So anyhow, that's their projection. The one note I will make for our friends on our sister publication, Cotton Grower, they say that upland cotton acreage should be going up over the next 2 years, in versus some of the other major crops. So it'll be interesting to see what
Mhm.
happens there. So.
Yeah, actually, I saw something the other day. Actually, right when you said that, There was a news item, and I'll kind of get a little more about it for our next recording. But it was findings about U.S. farmland, who's investing in it, and who's buying. Um, I guess over COVID, the years 2021 and 22 in particular, um, the value of farmland increased from 2,700 per acre in 2010 to 5,400 plus in 20 by 2022. So
Wow.
investors, purely for an investment, are looking at farmland and buying up considerable amounts of it. So that
Interesting.
actually caught my eye as well. Like I said, I'll get more on that and talk to you about it next time we record Retail Week.
Nope.
But lots of
Okay.
interesting stuff going on in that space.
Yeah, and I
It's,
guess that this is that time of year where a lot of projections are coming out, estimations
right.
for what kind of a year it's going to be for the growing
Mhm.
season for the agricultural community. So again,
Yep.
we're seeing a lot of those, and again, we'll talk a little bit more at the end of the video about why we'll be probably be able to speculate more on this in next week's video as well. But
Yep. And
in
what
the
it means.
meantime, I know I had teased the fact that we've been on the road a bit, you and I both. I know I was at the Louisville National Farm Machinery Show, and while I was there, you were in sunny Florida, in Tampa, visiting with our friends at Mosaic. So, if you could, Miss Laura, share with our viewers a little bit about what you found out on that trip when you were visiting those folks.
Yeah, just got back, so I'm still sorting through some stuff and reviewing my notes. But this was Mosaic's Advanced Crop Nutrition event. We were the only media company there, mostly for ag retailers, customers, as well as other Mosaic staff from Saskatchewan and elsewhere that were new and maybe just learning a little bit more about the company as part of the onboarding process. But the 2 days that I spent there were just jam packed. I learned a lot, and honestly, have to thank the folks again for just a really great event. We started off on the first day with a tour. Their mining operations, they have sizable operations there in Central Florida for phosphate. So we did a couple stops. First, we actually stopped, as you recall, Mosaic Biosciences was formed in 22. And so, really what they're doing right now, it's just kind of their strategy of balanced crop nutrition plus biological crop nutrition gives you advanced crop nutrition. So, in fact, I was just refreshing my memory. So, cropnutrition.com, if you check out that website, you'll see some of the new stuff that Mosaic is offering and talking about. But just real quickly on the tour, not only did we see their mining operations, the bus we went through their plant facility, one of their plants there. So we were able to view some things, from inside the bus. But we did get out. In fact, you and I were talking about this, about how their operations have changed, and I mentioned that they toured us through their integrated operations center. So what this is, one of the folks on the tour said, "Wow, it looks like a sports bar inside." So this is a centralized location. So what used to be, various different field offices on the plant grounds, as well as their mining ops, things that were manual and kind of remote. Now they have most everything is really under one roof. The visibility, the analytics, the remote, what they're able to do remotely, whether it's guiding the slurry through pipelines to various places on there's just a whole thing, but it's just incredible. And excuse me, it also brings the people that were doing these jobs under one roof. So you have that, the benefit of just, turning to your neighbor who's doing something else and talking and chatting, everyone's seeing one thing. So anyway, that integrated operations center was fantastic. It really was state of the art. We enjoyed seeing that a lot. We went to see 1,600-acre plot that where they used to have mining that's now reclaimed uh, land, and what they're doing as far as their environmental stewardship, which I have to say, not only are they meeting what the state and federal requirements are for reclaiming the land and getting it back into shape, but they really are going above and beyond. We spend a lot of time there. They're frankly, and as they should be, quite proud of their efforts on that front. 540 acres of that 1,600-acre plot are wetlands. So while we were standing there, they have like a viewing platform where you can kind of look out over, and you see the wetlands. I mean, there were birds, there were they had reforested the land. It was incredible. We had a person that was working with. They kind of either relocate, avoid, or mitigate when it comes to the wildlife. For instance, one of the keystone species is this gopher tortoise that is native to that area. What they do to accommodate that one species, in addition to like this, let me make sure, the eastern indigo snake, they have several birds. I mean, so much of the tour, frankly, was devoted to this. They were really, again, proud of what they're doing, and I was impressed. I mean, let's be honest. If we look back over the years, decades, I mean, the mining sector in general, obviously concerns about the environmental impact of something like mining, but I have to say, I was truly impressed what they've been doing. So that was really a highlight for me, honestly. We also spent time at a trial plot. Like I said, the biosciences division of Mosaic is really, really not only timely, but hugely important for them as well. So we went to one of the plots actually, it was the Florida Strawberry Growers Association. We went there where they had several things. We saw corn and potatoes that they had shown us, things that they were doing with that. I do want to call out. So if you go to cropnutrition.com, True Response, so TRU, no E, True, then Response, is Mosaic's online platform where you can go and you can see the local field data with what they're doing. And I really love it because they're very aware that how much knowledge they need to impart to their retailers, who likewise need to help that grower be successful with the use and application of bios. So again, really impressed with what they're doing on the information and data side, to make this work. Um, One other thing that I learned during my visit with them, they also have, and I thought this was great. Again, just something that benefits the industry at large. They have Mosaic's Ag College online, and this is entirely free. It's an online. You can earn CCA credits for certain courses that they have, but this is entirely free. You go and you sign up. They have 25 plus courses right now, and they're adding more. I thought this was just such a wonderful tool for the industry. Again, it's entirely free. All you do is you go and you sign up, and another way to learn. So I just had a great trip. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago, I visited with Bear. And I just got back from my trip to Tampa. So really excited about what I'm learning and what's going on out there. Um, I intend to also visit these folks when they're at Commodity Classic. We'll be there at the end of the month. but just want to say thank you to these people. They're doing great work. It was really great for me. So I know we have between you and I some more stops and visits that we'll be conducting this year. But man, we're off to a great start.
Well, very good. Yeah, no, it sounds like a great trip. I know I think a similar visit with Mosaic in Florida several years ago, and
Mhm.
it's fascinating to hear how things have changed. It was a little less
Yeah,
automated back then.
right.
And as you said, I mean, yes, coming up for us next week, both as long and as well as most of the crew at CropLife is we're all going to be at the Commodity Classic event, which is taking place in Houston, Texas. And we're looking forward to that. That's going to be starting for some of us next Tuesday, the 27th of February, but the actual event kicks off on the 28th and runs through March 2nd, Saturday.
Mhm.
So again, if you're going to be in Houston, Laura and I will both be there. And if we haven't already reached out to you, or if you have reached out to us about visits and stops, we have you on our calendar. And if not, you're going to be there and haven't yet reached out, please do so because if we can, we'll be able to squeeze you in and get to visit you in person. And again, like you say, Laura, I mean, we've already learned a lot on our trips so far this year, and this one is going to be a great one because again, a lot of growers at this event. I know
Yeah.
Tom Vilsack, the Secretary of Agriculture, is the keynote speaker on Friday, March 1st. So we'll have some reports from the event itself, not next week, but the week after, because next week we'll be at the event. But the week after that, we promised lots of pictures and
Mhm.
video and highlights from everything everyone was saying about what kind of year 2024 is going to be for our friends in agriculture.
Yeah, let me also mention that any of the women in ag tech gals that are going to be at Commodity Classic, and I know there will be quite a few, please feel free to let me know where you're at, and would love to say hey in person. Maybe we can grab some coffee or something. And plus, if you don't mind me saying, the CropLife team will be super dapper in their new CropLife shirts. We will look like the team that we are. We have new shirts. We have our Women in Ag Tech caps. Man, we are just like we're turning it up, E.
If folks are looking to have a connection in person with someone from CropLife, finding our folks should probably, it won't be that difficult, I would hope. So,
Yeah, we look good.
all right. Well, hey, Miss Laura, then let's end on our favorite note of the show. And I'm sure a couple of our viewers like this segment as well, particularly the younger crowd. Time for fun with numbers.
I missed it last week, right? It
You
was
did.
like
I'm
I think
sorry
I had
to say.
a 2 week streak. All right, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
So
it
you
today.
you had 2 weeks, but then
I'm gonna
again,
get
you
it
try to
today.
get it back. I know.
Right.
Here in our offices today, a couple of people are in, and somebody said, "Yeah, I was watching the video, and my percentage of getting them right is a lot worse than Laura's." So there was someone here who was owning up to
Feel
the fact
better.
that they've gotten one right over the last year. So you're not doing near that poorly. So
Okay.
so Miss
Right.
Laura, this week you have a percentage, 19%.
Okay.
All right. So is 19%, is that A, the projected decrease in corn and wheat acreage by 2025? Is it B, the reduction in global warming potential for soybeans over the last 7 years? Is it C, the projected increase in attendance at Commodity Classic 2024 versus 2023? Or
Uh,
is it D, the percentage of time I expect to spend eating at the 2024 Commodity Classic? And I bring that up because I have more invites for breakfasts and dinner than I know what to do with. I've got one brunch in there as well, just for good measure. So I fully expect that about 20, 25% of my time at least will be spent eating, breaking bread with friends, but it's a gathering. So why not, right?
so C was the percent increase in attendance this year,
Yes. The
and
projected. Yep.
And A was the decrease in corn and wheat
Yep.
acreage for
Yep. And
25.
then B was the reduction in global warming potential for soybeans.
Let me see. I'm gonna go with A. Come
No, I'm
on, don't
sorry.
tell me it's C. The 19%
It,
increase?
it's not C either.
Oh,
No,
it's
the
B?
correct answer is B. Yes, B, the
Oh,
reduction in
it was
global warming
B.
potential for soybeans. And the
Oh,
reason I bring this up is, as we're getting ready to go to Commodity Classic, one of the big exhibitors, participants in that event, United Soybean Board,
yep,
and
true.
they did a life cycle assessment study of soybean,
Yeah.
and they compared the global warming potential for U.S. soybeans in 2021 versus what it was back in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
They were factoring in a bunch of environmental outcomes, cultivation practices, harvesting practices, transportation, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And according to their study, there has been a 19% reduction in global
Wow.
warming potential for soybean crops in the last 7 years, or
Wow.
from 7 years between
Yeah.
2015 and 2021. So
Okay. I did not know that. So
I
I
try
thought
to impart wisdom as well as frustrate you with the buzzer.
you say that, but I don't see how that's important. I'm thinking, oh, he mentioned, da da da. What am I? Sometimes it's a full blown guess. So yeah.
Well,
All
and
right.
again, I
I'll give
always,
it
if I can, I try to grab a good news item. So you should have known it wasn't the decrease in corn and wheat, but
Okay. All
that's all
right.
right. You'll know better for next time. And again, next
Yeah.
week when we're at Commodity Classic, we'll be recording our video at the show itself, probably together on your camera, like we've done at other trade shows. So when I read you the fun with numbers, I'll be hiding it so that you can't see what the correct answer is.
Well, I'm going to choose D because I can't be wrong, right?
Oh, D is always the fun one. So. All right. Well, on behalf of myself, Lara Sowinski, and everyone at CropLife, and all of us, of course, will be at Commodity Classic in the upcoming week in Houston. Thanks for joining us this week. We look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comments section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.